We have husbands, we have children, we're teaching, grading papers,
We're tutors.
We're tutoring.
We also do volunteer. So, I mean, I always say you give something to people who have already things to do. Like you give things to busy people to get things done.
Maria Peterson, Kathleen Bartels, and Tanya Aguilar are high school Spanish teachers here in the suburbs outside Washington, D.C. They're also 3 of the 8 vaccine hunters in this pocket of suburban Maryland, teachers who banded together to fill a need in the community as the vaccine rollout began.
Like every teacher like we are, we've posted on Facebook, we got our vaccine. People started reaching out to us wondering, how did you get an appointment? How did you do it? We were not aware that it was such a big deal.
So Kathleen, going off that, what is the most challenging part about being a vaccine hunter, about looking through all and finding appointments for all of these different people asking for your help?
I think people are feeling really frustrated when they've tried day after day after day and they haven't gotten a spot. They've waited on hold on the telephone. They've gotten all the way to the last screen of the application and there are no more appointments.
Someone just texted me because she was able to get, we were able to help her parents get a vaccine on the 28th of January. I remember that day because it was a big day for us. We hit a jackpot with a lot of appointments available. So I remember that day. And we got both of her parents in. Part of the problem here that we've confronted, that we're dealing with, is that digital divide with our seniors. They had a hard time getting the appointment to begin with, and we helped them.
Maria, Kathleen, and Tanya took a break from their busy lives recently to join me at a local high school to share how they've become unlikely superheroes to hundreds of Marylanders, running classrooms and households while spending every free moment hunting for vaccines.
We've been together for a little bit over a month, and we have been able to help over 500 seniors secure appointments.
We have made ourselves available to help them. We call them, they call us. Some have become like our biggest cheerleaders, and they continue just texting us and calling us, sending us pictures.
But to that end, Kathleen, it hasn't been smooth sailing, right? The county has had its challenges, particularly with the Spanish-speaking community, as we were just discussing. So what has been some of the gaps that have existed there to reaching that vulnerable population?
When we noticed that the messages coming in were mainly from Spanish speakers, that's one of the things that we told the county when we started meeting with representatives from the county is there seems to be a need for a phone hotline, and it seems that would serve basically all of the senior citizens, not just the Spanish speakers. The technology that the state and the county are using to schedule these doses online, the Spanish was incomprehensible. In all of the advocacy work that we've been doing, we've really been pointing people toward these struggles that we've noticed in talking with seniors personally. And I think it's had an impact.
So Tanya, we know that the Latino community has struggled to gain access to vaccines despite being more affected by COVID. So when people reach out to you, are you able to give them reassurance because you're able to speak to them in their language, in Spanish?
Our seniors are very comfortable with sharing their pictures when they're getting vaccinated, and they want us to share them on our Instagram, on our Facebook. And so we've been doing that. And I think that the Latino community and all communities can look at those pictures and say, oh, here's somebody that's like me, that's my age. They're taking the shot happily. And so that's, there's a lot to say about seeing yourselves in pictures.
So they feel more comfortable reaching out to us through the Spanish, leaving us a message in Spanish. Some come to us via email. And the great thing is that, again, we can answer emails in English, we can answer emails in Spanish, we can make phone calls in English and Spanish.
In being Latina and there being Latinas on the vaccine hunters, I think the Latinos that have reached out to us, they identify with us and they feel a sense of comfort. For us, when we talk to these elderly Latina and Latino abuelitos, we say, abuelos, I feel like I'm talking to my grandma. I feel like I'm talking to my mom, my granddad, my dad.
So I want to hear from all of you. Why teachers? What about being a teacher makes you such an effective vaccine hunter?
I think part of it is just access. I think our job description is making everything accessible to every kind of person, always. And so once we saw how challenging it was, our instant response is, got to fix this.
There's no overanalyzing it. Let's have it done. And we're like, okay, let's have it done. And, we know how to organize. What do we need to do?
With this, there's so many moving parts and they move like this. As a classroom teacher, every day is a different day. And you have to go with the punches and you have to swing. You have to just go with it. Every single day is a different day, which is why I love to teach. There's never a dull moment. With this as well. With the vaccine, Every day is a different day.
I also think you need eyes in the back of your head. Like
Oh
in the
my, everywhere.
classroom, you're paying attention to something, but you absolutely have to be paying attention to this thing over here. And that's working for us right now because we have so many browser windows open and
my
we're
God.
just like clicking around all day, every day.
Have you been surprised by how much response you've gotten? Not just volunteer response, but also response from people who have been looking for help.
We want to help everybody. I mean, we were up this morning. So we get up super early to hunt. Let me tell you. So this morning we were already up at 6 o'clock, and by 7:30, I think collectively we had made at least 50 to 60 appointments. And so again, we regroup after school because we're all teachers. So we regroup like about 5 or 6. Some of us are still making dinner for our families. We have our debrief, and then there we go, hunting again. Sometimes it's 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. And so we're truly dedicated to this. And when we say other people can do this, please, other people do this, do this. We need your help. We need your help.
But even with the juggling act and early mornings that bleed into long nights, the vaccine hunters wouldn't change a thing.
There's this gentleman, Philip. He's 88. He's been married 68 years. He's in hospice for cancer. He called back to thank us because he was like, now my wife can come see me.
That's really our goal, right? Our goal is to help and not to hinder in any way, help them reach the ultimate goal of vaccinating this whole county.
Reporting from Silver Spring, Maryland, I'm Megan Pratt.